Hello and welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good in the middle of the night, wherever you are in time and space. I am Sylvia Hartmann, coming to you live from my spaceship floating above beautiful Eastbourne by the sea. It's just been May the 1st. Today is May the 2nd. And yeah, spring has sprung, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. I've got some fun topics um, that I'm looking forward to discussing. Good morning, Carol Ann. I hope it's bright and beautiful in sunny Eastbourne. Yeah, it's sort of slightly misty after the rain, and that's good because it hasn't rained here for a long time, and all the green stuff is hungry and thirsty, and they need lots and lots of water to, do their spring thing, do their springing around thing. Good morning, Wendy and Bear and Julie Elizabeth. Good morning, my dear, dear fellow shining beings. Delighted that you're here with me today. Oh, yeah, so while we're hanging around a little while and waiting for people to assemble, let's do something fun. Good morning, Ilka. Hello. Ha, nice to be with you guys. I do appreciate you. I really do. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, just how much I appreciate you for various things. So, how's your week been? How's your life going? How are you doing compared to the other folks, the non-energy people that you see around you? I've had quite strange experiences with that this week. Good morning, Martin. Hello. Well, yes, the plants. Those of you who follow the adventures of the Men's will know that last year, around this time, the Men's decided to plant a lemon orchard. We're about a couple of months after the onset of the global panic pandemic. And my aspect went shopping just before we weren't allowed to go out anymore, and asked the dear energy mind what she should be hoarding. And the dear energy mind said, a sack of lemons and a bag of potatoes. And that really made me laugh. It wasn't toilet paper, it wasn't canned beef, it was those two items my dear energy mind wanted. So I bought a large sack of lemons, and they were the best lemons I've ever had in my life. They were amazing. They were super lemony, super tasty, just awesome. So I collected the seeds from those lemons, and the lemons, and so the Men's decided they wanted to plant a lemon orchard. And these little guys are about a year old now. These are my little lemon trees. And some of them have grown really big and some of them not so big, but they're happy, and they are now so big that the Men's will need ladders to tend to them. Good morning, Marianne, and good morning, Rud. Thank you for joining. Happy to see you and, to join in with us this morning. So yeah, this is my lemons there, my little lemon trees, and they wanted to be here because I've just my big news this week is I've created a Star Matrix YouTube channel, and brand new one, and it's actually just for star stories. I've put the minimum of setup on it, the minimum of explanation, what Star Matrix is, just little 5-minute things. This is, looking for your best memories in your life. Start your book of stars. This is what you do if you can't remember anything. Morning, Lucas. Hello. And the rest of it is all going to be for star stories. Not just my star stories, but other people's star stories too. So hopefully, eventually, we'll have quite a few on there. And if you're feeling a bit down or you're a bit depressed and you're a bit tired of the news or of entertainment, and you want to hear some real life stories of people when they had amazing experiences, star events, then you come over to the Star Matrix channel and you take a star or two away with you. that will hopefully help you, inspire you, and, help you on your path. Ha ha ha. Ah, Ilka says, I asked a friend to send me lemon seeds from my old garden in Spain. Ah, brilliant. Now, it is a lot easier to grow lemons in Spain than it is in England or in Germany for that matter, but it can be done with enough love and attention. So, yeah, yay to lemon trees. I love them. I've been tending them very carefully for the whole year and nurturing them through the winter. And they are looking forward to now going outside and having some real time in real nature. I'm sure that's going to be wonderful for them. And Ilka says, wow, I want to give some star stories too. Yes, please do. Please do. I haven't quite figured out how we're going to do that we can, put people's star stories on. If you've already got a YouTube channel, you can make a playlist for your star stories, and then I can possibly do something that way. Or, I don't know, we'll figure it out. You don't really, often when you start something, you don't have to know how it's done. You just need to know you want it done. And then, things happen and good ideas come and the universe helps. And a person says, ooh, I want to share some star stories too. And we can figure out a way to make this happen, because I love star stories. I think they're just absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to ask you guys very particularly and very personally to go over to the Star Matrix, my brand new Star Matrix channel, and subscribe to it, hit that bell notification icon to also like the videos and leave a little short comment on them. That is super important for these videos eventually at some point to show up in searches on YouTube, so that we can reach outside of our little group that we have here, and other people might find their way to us. That's always been my absolute, this is the thing I've been trying to work on, trying to make portals through which ordinary people, normal, real people, can find their way to us and, find something different that might help them in their lives. So this Star Matrix channel on YouTube, that's going to be a portal. And we can have, I haven't even mentioned the word energy, because I believe that Google prejudices against the word energy since the medical update. So, the star stories can have all sorts of wonderful titles. I posted one this morning to the GOE members group called The Magic Wand. And so you never know, there is a chance with star stories that new people are going to find us. And this is something that I very much, very, very much would like to see happen more of. Carol and Cattrall, build it and they will come. Absolutely. That is a good principle. Build it and keep at it. Building things is like the lemon trees. You can't just plant them. You can just plant them and leave them, but it's not going to work, especially not in England. You need to do something. You need to encourage them. You need to water them. You need to keep the snails off them. In the winter, you need to somehow keep them coolish and yet not freezing. And, there's a lot of work in it. But as we talked about last week we talked about a good idea has energy in it, and that, inspires action. We need to take action. Actions are wonderful. Alex Kent has posted the link to the new Star Matrix YouTube channel. I wasn't going to do that because I thought then everybody runs off and I'll be here all by myself going to check out the new YouTube channel. But thank you for doing that, because that brings me to something. My goal for last week had been to start the new YouTube channel and get that ready and record 4 little videos to get it started. Now, Alex has just posted the link. And if you see that, the channel is called UC Bun59B We Plug Tifu. Now, on YouTube, you don't get a proper name for your channel unless you have at least 100 subscribers. When you get 100 subscribers, then the link will read youtube.com channel Star Matrix. And then we have a decent link that we can share, that we can remember on a plane, that we, know. So I would love you guys to help in any way you can to get those first 100 subscribers. I don't normally ask people for a lot of help with things, but in this particular case, I would love to be able to sit here next week and say, we've done it. We've got 100 subscribers to that new YouTube channel and it has its name. And by the way, should this not be the case, I'm not going to sit there and cry. I'm going to say, okay, fine, we haven't quite made 100. Let's keep at it. Let's keep watering those seeds. Let's not lose hope. Let's go forward. It is a good idea to have a channel exclusively for star stories. Not for any misery, not for any stories of revenge or suffering or anything else. Just for star stories, real lived experience. The infinite diversity of the individual that when we put it together becomes a field of stars. Cool. Martin says, just been over and subscribed. Excellent. Welcome back. Yeah, okay. So let me move into the topic that my dear Energy Mind wanted me to write. The healing of nature or something was that. The healing power of nature, natural healing. And this addresses a problem that I've seen this week twice. There's two YouTubers I follow who I started following other YouTubers about 2018, when I first had my movie star breakthrough experience. I could actually make videos and live streams after that, and had an actual YouTube channel after that. So I started following some other YouTubers just to see what they were doing and how they were going. I was very impressed by their numbers at the time. I mean, one of them had 25,000 subscribers. This same guy now has 1.5 million subscribers 3 years later. And he's a wreck. He's a mess. He's doing 5 videos a day. He's exhausted. He's completely worn out after these 3 years. And he's collapsing under the burden of responsibility to try and keep his viewers amused, keep them happy, give them value for money for his paid subscribers. He's just melting down. And I was like, oh my God. And I thought, yeah, I mean, he's like 30 years younger than me. 30 years ago, I could have managed 5 videos a day for 3 days. 5 videos a day for 3 years. I could have managed that. I would have had the mental strength and willpower to push myself through that. But then I thought, he's doing that in this general strange time this last year and a bit of we're getting exhausted with the endless emergency state. We are all getting exhausted by this, whether we know this or not. So this is not just him burning out because of the vagaries of YouTube and having 1.5 million subscribers that you feel beholden to and responsible to. This is also about, I became really aware of this general sense that people are just exhausted out there. They're knackered. And just 2 days later, there was another one of the guys I follow, and I don't follow that many, who did a 6.5-hour live stream, basically crying that he couldn't go on and he was exhausted. And I just, whoa. I will say I did not listen to the 6.5-hour live stream. I just dove in somewhere hoping that it was going to get better. But he's just the same. He's also exhausted. And there's so many other people. What about the healthcare workers? What about everyone? What about the people who couldn't work at their jobs and had all this extra energy that they couldn't release and instead sat around worried and treading water all the time? I know those states, they are so damaging when you're like wheel spinning, when your system is running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but you can't do anything to release that level of energy. That is also super, super exhausting. And yeah, so I just became very aware of that. And I thought, what can we do for in that sort of circumstance? What can we do? Well, we can tell people star stories. That's certainly something that we can do. And we can get more people into reconnecting with their positive energies from the past to give them a guideline, a guiding light to go forward into the future and to understand that this isn't meant to be such an endless graft and hard slog. It takes me back to my original other experience where I just realized that all the people who think, okay, I'm going to do this, that, and the other, whatever it is. I'm going to, I don't know, start a website or become famous as a musician or famous author, or write a best-selling book, all these things. They all have this weird pattern in them. Why do you want to do that? And the answer tends to be, I'm going to have so much money that I can buy myself a big house in a beautiful location, and I'll never have to work again for the rest of my life. And I could just lie on the beach and soak in the rays and the energy from the sea and the sky with a cocktail in my hand. And I will be there forever as an end goal. And I thought, back then, and that's a long time ago, I thought, oh, you mean the afterlife is your goal? You're working your fingers to the bone right now. You're driving yourself crazy right now in order to achieve this afterlife, which everybody gets anyway. Everybody gets an afterlife, even if you never lift a finger in your entire life and you just lie in a corner and do nothing and let the rest of society carry you through life. You'll still get an afterlife. You'll still get to lie on the metaphysical beach with a cocktail in your hand forever. I thought that's really interesting. Why do people work so hard? What are they trying to achieve? Am I sidetracking? No, I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I think that's very, very relevant, because the star matrix idea that our life is only about the best moments, that everything else doesn't count in the greater scheme of things. It's not important. With that idea comes a different future. There comes this future of potential star events, which are independent of being rich or having a big house or having access to a tropical beach or any of these things. You don't have to be super rich to have a fantastic life, to have had a fantastic life. That's a thing that we hear, all the religions tell us this. All the real decent prophets tell us this, that running after money is illusionary because you can't take it into the afterlife anyway. But it's more than that. It is that these goals of never having to work again and lying in a corner with a cocktail in your hand and looking at the blue, blue sea, that's already done. That's achieved. Free. You got your ticket. It's done. So now with that goal achieved, what else are we going to do? What else are we going to do? What are we going to do now? Now that we know we are immortal and have an afterlife. Now that we know that this thing that all these people are working their asses off to try and somehow manifest in their living lives, now that we know that this is achieved anyway, going beyond that, now what do we do now? And the minute we do that, we kind of come back into what I would call the real world. Right here and now. Whoa. Okay, I'm here. I'm now. This is not a fantasy. This is the real life. What am I going to do with this now? Where am I going to get my next star moments from? How's that going to work out? And one of the greatest guiding lights for this, that cuts through, like a laser beam cuts through a piece of soft butter, is nature. Nature itself, in every shape or form. And we can start with something as simple as looking up to the sky. My favorite group, apart obviously from Star Matrix Forever and the GOE members group, my third favorite group on the internet is the Cloud Appreciation Society. It's absolutely marvelous. By all means, people from all around the world take pictures of clouds and post it, and that's it. That's the only thing you get on that group is pictures of clouds. By all means, search for it, join it, and click it as being a highlight post on your timeline. And yesterday somebody posted a picture of this glorious sky, and they made the comment, I'm living in this small social flat on the bad side of town, but I wouldn't change this view for anything. And I just saw it and I went, yeah, that's exactly it. Nobody owns the sky. The richest people on earth, the billionaires that think that they are so powerful and, I'm going to put 1 million satellites in there, so I'm owning the sky now, the night sky. No, you don't. You don't own the night sky. It belongs to all of us. Every one of us who looks up and looks at the clouds, and yeah, that's yours. It's yours. It's your sky. And it goes for everything. I was trying to explain to a person once how it is that energy allows you to be as greedy as you want to be. And they were really struggling with this. They were really stuck on the idea that if you take something, you take it away from somebody else. So you must never take anything, because you're just a thief. The minute you take anything, you're thieving it away from another person that's much more deserving than you are. They were brought up in some crazy religious cult. But my dear Energy Mind gave me the answer to this. And I said, look, when you stand in the sunshine and the sunshine falls upon you, these are your rays. Nobody else gets them. And you're not taking away from the person who's standing next to you. They got their own rays falling onto them, their own personal rays generated by the sun, send away across space, and there you go. They hit you. They're your rays. And there could be 1 million, 1 billion people standing in this field in the sunshine, and each one of them would get their own personal rays. And that idea, that thought, that understanding that where you're walking on the earth, these are your footsteps, nobody else's. And those clouds that you see, they're your clouds by rights. That's, so for me, one of the very first connections with this idea that nature can save us. Nature can show us and prove to us how things really work. how marvelous they are. My little lemon trees, how they turn towards the light. They seek the light. They seek to grow. They have this total 100% desire to grow inside of them. And you see that, and you experience that. And at some point, it has got to click that we have this desire in us too. We too try to turn towards the light as best we can. We too have our needs. We need our water. We need our warmth, and these basic things. We too have this desire, this endless desire for growth and expansion in every cell of our body and even in the spaces that lie between. All these things that we might hear in sort of lame memes that are posted on Instagram, all those things, if you really step into them, we are free. We do get each one our own sunlight, and we don't have to share it with anybody. We really do have this huge, powerful ability to keep wanting to grow, to expand, to connect with nature, to be a part of that wonderful forward movement that I call the grand procession. We totally belong here. This is totally our world. And nature can take us back there, and it can heal us, not necessarily of physical illness, but of all these misconceptions that we are constantly bombarded with in the heart. That every one of us is sick, that every one of us needs 1,000 pills to even keep alive, that we are so powerless, that we know nothing and scientists know everything. And all these misconceptions we are constantly bombarded with. That, we are so different from somebody who lives I live in Eastbourne, and there's a town down the road called Hastings. And apparently all the people in Hastings are our enemy, and vice versa. And that sort of baloney, absolute rubbish that the heart is throwing at us all the time, and makes us ill and makes us sick and makes us think we are ill and sick in mind, body, and spirit, when we're actually not. And that's what I mean by healing with nature, using nature to heal our misconceptions about reality. Turning to nature to heal our misconceptions about reality. And by that, I do not mean taking all your clothes off and frolicking in the forest, in the nude, amongst the poison ivy and the brambles. No, I don't mean that at all. I just mean as in looking up at the sky once in a while and reminding yourself, oh, that's my sky. Look at that. Oh, I call that the infinite show. Every time you look across a landscape, or you look at the sky or at the stars, the universe is putting on the infinite show for you. Just for you. Just for you. Don't share that with anyone. Just for you. A miracle of a seed turning into a seedling and then into a lemon tree. Ha! God, the miracle of a lemon. Will I ever experience that? Who knows? Who cares? It's all about moving forward with joy, with passion, with desire, with excitement, with, I'm going to say that word that I couldn't say for all those decades, with a sense of gratitude and amazement at life unfolding. Oh, getting all moved here. Yes. So yes, my friends, healing by nature. We are healing by nature all the time. Every time you get a little scratch and it heals, we are healing by nature. There's a wonderful concept to take to heart and take with us and remind ourselves constantly, which is why I love the Cloud Society. Every time I see a picture of the clouds coming up on my stream that somebody posted in Venezuela, in South Africa, in America, in England, in Switzerland, in Netherlands. Netherlands has awesome skies because it's so flat. I have a little moment of, oh, on my Facebook feed. Ah, this really contributes to my mental health and happiness, shall we say. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Obviously, I am sitting here right in front of a metaphor of starting new projects, nurturing them, and bringing them forward to some level of fruition. And of course, Star Matrix is the project, my legacy project, that I'm going to be looking forward to working on. I'm looking forward to finding out how to share other people's star stories, not just my own. That's going to be so much fun and exciting and wonderful, really. As I was making this channel, I had sort of my moment of doubt there. I was like, oh, you've started so many projects and they came to nothing and they were such a disappointment. Why should this be any different? But I pushed those doubts aside and I said, okay, I want to make this channel. I think it's important. I think it's a good idea. Go away, doubt. And a little while later, something came to my mind, and that's a quote of mine, which was, if you fill your mind to overflowing with wonderful things, there can be no room left for doubt. And it occurred to me that the wonderful things, those could be the star stories. The wonderful things could be the star stories. If I spent more time listening to, reading, hearing about other people's star stories, then my mind would be filled with wonderful things, and there would be no room left for doubt. Good morning, Janine, my dear, my appreciated person. Okay, guys, I hope that made a measure of sense today. I hope you enjoyed my little talk about nature, about how nature can save us. It really can, and it really can. In between remembering our own star stories and telling other people's star stories and listening to other people's star stories for a change, we are always surrounded in nature. Our houses are nature too. They are following all the laws of nature too. But that takes a bit of experience to see it that way. If ever you feel tired or distraught or worn out, this is my number one recommendation. Reconnect with nature. Reconnect with the trees putting up their new leaves for the new season, and understand that you are like that too. Given half a chance. Given half a chance. Little bit of love and care, and nature will reassert itself. And that is that healing that can't be found in any other place. Can't be found in any other place. All right, my friends, there we have it. A little bit shorter than usual, unless we want to have a chat about what I said what I think and do. I mean, we can do. We've got some time here. I just seen that. Nature as the... When I say star memories and nature, we had that two. It seems to be two separate topics, but they're not. Some of my most profound star memories happened in nature when I was quite alone. There's nobody else around. Sometimes there was, but when I really just got blown away by the majesty of it, that enormous grid that rests upon the land, the vast power of life itself, of the universe itself. So profound. And this has left me with this connection that when I am depressed or distraught or down in the dumps, just looking up at the clouds for a little while. Don't matter if it's just a grey sky with rain falling down, or if it's one of those really, showy, fluffy Simpsons clouds or castle clouds or UFO clouds, or there's so many different kinds. Doesn't matter. This reconnects me, and I understand now why that is. It reconnects me to these star experiences in nature that were absolutely transcendental and remind me that all the doings of people, what I call the hard, is just such a small thing in comparison, and such a thing that could be made so much softer and nicer if there was a little bit more love and a little bit more wisdom about. Oh, this is really nice. I often look at the skyline at dawn and dusk. When my husband was on the other side of the world, we used to connect by looking at the sunset every evening, and it was wonderful. Ah, that's really lovely. That's really nice. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Ilka says, yes, for me, it's always been nature. I believe it's so complex and alive, it's nearly impossible to not get a boost of energy. Yes, it's just astonishing. It's astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Anything you look at, there's just this simple little seed that turns into a lemon tree. It's astonishing. I just feel so sorry for people who might have been born in some big city and they just have no concept of that, and actually get nervous and afraid when you take them out on a farm. It's just, oh, it's life-saving. It literally is life-saving. I remember I had a client once after 9/11, and they had many friends and relatives who died as a result of the Twin Tower demolition. And they one of the particular things was the dust in the sky that was particularly linked to that experience, that traumatic experience. And I remember taking them to a window and opening the window, and we looked out together at the clouds. And I don't know what exactly went on there. It wasn't tapping, it wasn't a technique of any kind, but the person connected to the sky, and it just healed them. It healed that. It just made such a huge difference. It's hard to explain. It's just there. My daughter lives in the UK and I don't get to see her often. We sometimes call each other and both look at the moon and realize we're not that far apart. Oh, that's lovely, Bear. Yes. Moonlight, you don't have to share that with anybody as either. That is totally your own. Absolutely your own. Roberta, what's Roberta saying? Nature is the original source of the concept of abundance and having more than enough. Yeah. You just spend a lifetime exploring the mysteries and wonders of nature, and you wouldn't even, I won't even, you just know that it's literally infinite. The wonders of nature are infinite. Infinite. See what Wendy's saying. There's a quote from a W.S. Gilbert song that we shared. And if so be you think of me, please tell the moon. I'll read it all in rays that fall on the lagoon. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Yeah. I had a massive star experience one time with the moon and the silver path on the sea to the moon. It's just a superstar experience. And so whenever I see the moon on the sea, I'm just catapulted back into that and fascinated back into that. Super, super uplifting. Love it. I think it's an interesting thing here that we're talking about connecting to nature, star experiences. I think for a lot of people who are still very much in that whole trauma mindset, and they spend so much time looking for trauma and thinking of any person in their life, they instantly think of the traumas this person has caused them. For those people to start just with nature memories and focus just on the nature memories, to reactivate that inner understanding, that inner knowing that we are healing. We are self-healing. We are functioning so much better than we think we are, and we've been told we are. Then we have forgotten. Oh, yes. Yes, this is very true. Martin says, everything you see is for your eyes only, as no one else will ever see exactly the same photons of light that you see. Right. Absolutely correct. For your eyes only, everything you see. And we try and share things we saw through our photographs, through our paintings, through our stories. But at the end of the day, no one will ever see what you saw. No one. It's that infinite diversity. And it's even more infinite than that, because I see the world very differently from the way Martin sees the world, who is my partner. We have different eyesight, for one thing. For another thing, I can see in the dark, but I can't see in sunlight, and he can see in sunlight, and I can see, but he can't see in the dark. The way we render colors internally or even name the colors is different. Everything is for your eyes only, for your ears only. You can be at a rock concert and there's 50,000 people there, but the band is only playing for you. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. Well, that was just wonderful. See what Linda's saying. Nature is pure love, and we are joined by exactly the same frequency. Yes, and when we connect, we are seen and begin to heal. Yeah. Well, I'd say, I thought that for a long time, but I would say now, and when we connect to that, we have this big shock of, oh my God, I'm not as broken as I thought I was. At all. Why did I think I needed so much healing? Why did I think there was so much wrong with me that needed so much healing? Oceans of healing. Why the hell did I ever think that? And yeah, I think that, I think, all right, one more little story here. I had a really, really old cat, a grumpy cat. And if you think of grumpy cat, you've got a good picture of what that cat was like. And Grumpy Cat, when it was pretty old, it misjudged jumping up on a cupboard, got its back leg trapped in a door handle, and fell over and hung from there and screamed the place down because it broke its leg. It's a really old cat. I mean, what, 19 years old or something like that. And took it to the vets, and they put the leg in plaster. Now, and the leg healed, and the plaster was taken off, and the cat just ran around like before, exactly like before, which got me to thinking about, if you take like a 90-year-old woman who's, I don't know, misplaced a step and broke her leg, and you stick her in hospital, you put plaster cast on, would anybody ever expect that she would come back and be the same as she was before? Or would we immediately think, oh, this is the end, this is the end? Or we would totally expect her to limp forever or have pain forever, or nobody would really think that just because she's 90 doesn't mean she can heal herself, her systems. And I got to wondering how that thinking, or these expectations by everybody, by the woman herself and everybody around her, oh, this is the end, she's broken her leg, oh, this is the end, how that might influence the processes of healing. I've been thinking about that for a long time. So, yeah, that's just a thought. The cat was fine, absolutely fine. I think it died like 4 years later. So, and it was running around happily and doing everything it was doing before quite happily. It completely recovered, even though it was that old, because it probably didn't know about how old it was and how it should expect not to be able to heal itself anymore. Just a story. Okay, guys. Right. So let us do wonderful things. Let us fill our minds to overflowing with wonderful things. And wonderful things are found in many places. They are found in nature, and they are most especially found in our star memories. And they can give us important guidance of how to continue in this changing world, how to move forward on our own life's paths that are as unique as the photons the sun sends us, and how to find joy in the most unexpected of places. Thank you very much for listening, guys. And please, by all means, go over to the YouTube channel, share it with your friends, and follow us on various medias. Let's see if we can get 100 people to subscribe by next week's Sunday Live. That would be brilliant. Thank you very much. Lots of blessings. And remember to look up at the sky. Lots. Lots of love, and bye for now.